So I'm just running this little suitcase generator here because, well, there ain't no sun here in the wintertime, or at least not enough to keep my batteries fully charged. And the tools that I'm using, it'd be drawing too much. You know, the batteries still have a charge, but can't be running planers and compressors off them all day, or they'd only last for like an hour or two and then they'd be shot. But this is great because it's got like a 20 amp plug in it, 2 of them, and it's pretty quiet. So, you know, it's something to think about. You know, cloudy days, you don't get any solar. Doesn't even matter if it's still, you know, light out. If it isn't direct sun, it doesn't charge your panels. So, it's definitely got me thinking about, you know, living out here in the winter time. I'm gonna have a wood boiler outside my house, I think, to heat the house, because I have just insane amounts of firewood on the property, and that'll heat all my hot water and the house, pretty much unlimited hot water. So that's where a lot of your power draw is. So if I do that with the wood boiler, and then I have like propane stove, then the only thing is the draw is like washer and dryer and other kind of bigger appliances. So, you know, I might just have to be able to run the generator, have a generator set up for, you know, running washer and dryers and that sort of stuff. And I could probably, you know, and I'll charge batteries with the generator if it's, you know, really dark and gloomy, and then that can run lights for several days at a time if I have a good enough battery bank. So, you know, there's definitely options, but you're going to be consuming a lot more fuel in the winter time up here. And I don't know if there's any other way around it. You know, wind generation's not really reliable enough here in the winter time. I get more consistent winds in the summer, and I don't need wind generation in the summer because I got plenty of solar. So lots to think about, and you know, it's not, your little calculations on your computers do not actually work out in the real world, just in case you're wondering. You got to come out here and see for yourself what it takes and what your batteries can actually put up with, and how many solar panels and all that sort of stuff you need. So it's real world situations are pretty much, from my experience so far, nowhere close to all these, like, you know, ideal situation calculations that the solar companies and battery companies tell you. So make sure that you got a generator, because that's the only thing that you can really rely on, especially one that works, because my other one broke down. So, but no, trying to jump off. Digging up some wood for your nest? You these use the scrap shingles? Like, those are still good. Like, I need to use those. Like, I respect your desire to build a nest, but what about what I'm doing here? Have you ever thought about me for a second? That I don't want beak marks in all my wood? Huh? Does anyone know what type of birds these are? Got like a real hooked beak and really unique colors. I've never seen them kind of in town. They're more just out here. Look at this reflection. Unreal. Yet totally real. Look who's back. Back again. Birdie's back. Tell a friend. Birdie's back. Birdie's back. Birdie's back. Birdie's back. Well, I do like the company, guys, but the pooping, it's just, I'm really not a fan of the pooping. I get it. You're a bird. The world is your toilet. But we roll a little different here on the human side of things. Guess I've been out here long enough. You guys just see me as a staple here in the wilderness. Not as intimidated by the foreigner, are you? Well, I appreciate, you guys not feeling threatened. Even though I do have several guns inside and have considered shooting you, I'm going to choose peace. Maybe we can all be friends, you know? Put up a little bird feeder or something. Maybe over on a tree so you're not crapping on my deck. And you guys give me your word that you're not going to build nests up on my timbers. Poop all over the side of my cabin. Thank you so much to my monthly sponsors, Odie's Oil, U2 Fasteners, Granberg International, and Princess Auto for helping me make this dream a reality. If you guys haven't checked out their products, please feel free to follow the links in the description box below and see what they've got to offer. Well, after having a smoke on my pipe and sitting out there looking at the beauty and contemplating life, I thought, you know what? Frigid cold, windy day. It's probably not the best day to be shingling. And I've been meaning to put some oil on these timbers for, I don't know, a year now. So why not get a start on it? I'm just going to go over everything, kind of take off the dirty handprints and some little water stains that came about by not having the roof on in time and getting rain and stuff. So kind of scuffing everything up, cleaning up the timbers a bit, and I'll start rubbing on the Odie's. Actually, you know, the timbers look great raw, but they'll kind of pop even more once they have a coat of oil on them, and then it'll protect them from the fingerprints and all that sort of stuff. So hot in here now. Ooh, windy. So I'm gonna do the cabin in stages. So I've just sanded and got all the marks off, smudges, dirt prints, and fingerprints and that sort of stuff. Just kind of off of this half. Kind of piled all the stuff over here. It's getting dusty. So I'm thinking I'll probably do this half, oil it up as much best I can, and then do the next half another day, and then probably get up into the rafters and ceiling on a third day, kind of a thing, right? You just got to pace yourself. So just let go of expectations of everything happening really quickly. Just enjoy the process and keep moving forward. That's kind of all I can keep landing on. It's like, just keep moving and don't worry about how quickly everything gets done. Enjoy the process. You know, you don't need to beat yourself up, because you know you're still moving. You're not paralyzed. You are taking action, right? And that's what's important. Even if you're moving really slow, at least you're moving. Seems that society and culture kind of teaches us to, you know, try and become really efficient at doing one thing and do everything in an order, right? To increase efficiency. But And that's true to an extent, but at the same time, in nature, you have to be willing to adapt and change your strategies and do one thing for a bit, and then all of a sudden the weather tells you, okay, it's time to do something different. So you got to be able to switch gears and just keep moving. As long as you're progressing in time, the projects will come to completion. You know, it's like that old farmer saying, you know, on the farm, your work is never done. There's just always another thing that's coming that needs doing. So I'm using the super duper oil because it's a lot easier to spread, and I got a lot of surface area here. I just love that I can do this in a nice warm cabin. I don't have to open up the windows other than to let the heat out. This stuff just smells like citrusy bliss. Totally non-toxic. There's no toxic fumes or off-gassing. Food safe. You know, just the way things should be when they're coming in contact with your skin and lungs. If any of you guys out there are looking for a safe, easy to apply wood finish that gives you that beautiful, timeless, hand-rubbed oil look, then I encourage you guys to check out Odie's oil. I've placed the link in the description box below, so feel free to give it a click and check out all the different products that they have to offer. plain. I think I might carve a little strip up the middle or something just to, I don't know, add a bit of pizzazz to them, but they work. Alright, now I just gotta get a threshold in here. And this cabin's done. I cut a kerf there for the weather stripping flange to fit into. But you got to do a couple passes because one little thin kerf blade isn't wide enough for the weather strip flange to fit into. So I had to widen it up to a solid 1/8 of an inch. And now I can screw this in and call it done. Actually, I might put some tar, roll some tar on the bottom, just to kind of seal the bottom for any moisture and stuff underneath there. But, you know, it is yellow cedar. It can stay wet for quite a while, and it's not going to really see any weather because it's got a 5-foot roof overhang protecting the door, so I'll probably just put it in as is. There we go. Let's pick up a piece of this black weather stripping and cut that, put it in next time I'm out here. Oh, that feels good. Well, the siding's all finished. Alright, so this is the model for my next build here. This is going to be our auxiliary building, which will be close, right next to the bunkhouse that I just finished. And it's about 430 square feet, and it's going to have a really large deck off the front. And this is going to be kind of like a hangout area, kind of cabana, I guess you could call it, down by the water. If I move the walls to the side here, get a look at the timber frame. So it'll have a couple of naturally curved logs supporting the roof in the middle. Got a little wood stove in there. So similar kind of shed roof style to the bunkhouse, except I'm going to have a larger covered porch off the front here just for some shade because the sun gets really hot here in the valley where we live. And then obviously we want to take advantage of that view, so I've got large windows, a big slider door that you'll enter through, as well as large windows along the side here. And then on the back, which will be facing north, there'll just be a little door out the back and no windows so that we don't lose any heat. And yeah, pretty straightforward, but obviously a lot more timber to cut on this building than there was on the bunkie. So I'm going to be placing the order for that as soon as I got a little bit more money in the bank, because that's going to cost a lot of money. So in the meantime, I'm going to be building the deck area here and the boardwalks coming up from the dock. Well, I get the plans that I've put together for this looked over by a structural engineer and make sure everything is adequate for where we're building, because we're in kind of a higher earthquake zone. So I've got kind of two sections of a concrete footing on the back here, just because the grade of the property, there'll be a kind of a higher grade off the back of the building here. So I want to be able to just backfill right up against the concrete instead of having to excavate a much larger area just to keep, and then build rock retaining walls of some kind to hold the dirt back. I think building just concrete forms on those two walls should suffice, but we'll get it all looked over by the structural engineer and make sure that we're not missing anything. And then I can get to work on that. So this is what's going to be keeping me busy for probably at least the next year and a half, I'm guessing, considering the bunkhouse took me so long to build. I had a lot of other projects going on, so once I have this underway, I'll be focusing primarily on that. So I'm hoping it'll go a lot quicker than the bunkhouse is taken. But this off-grid thing is a learn as I go kind of thing, so I'm not expecting it to go very quickly. Let's just say that. But when it's done, we'll have, so this will be like a living room area on this side by the wood stove, and then we'll have kind of like just a kitchen area here with like a peninsula coming out, and then a built-in kind of eating nook, booth, dining area. Just to kind of maximize space, we'll just build the benches right in there like a restaurant booth. And yeah, so that should be a nice just kind of daytime hangout area to get out of the wind, yet still be nice and close to the water and take in those epic views. Okay, so I hope you guys are excited. Let me know what you think of the design in the comments down below, and we'll catch you in the next video. Samurai out.